All right.
To cut off all American aid to Israel.
That's left.
Clearly a left-wing position. To abolish the Fed, okay.
Right.
Although he does qualify this by saying, or if you don't abolish the Fed, at least put a capable Gentile as chairman. Because apparently, and I didn't know this, Pat, and you may know, during the 93 years of its existence, the Fed has never had a Gentile chairman. Who knew? I did not.
I had no idea. Really?
Yeah, I didn't. Apparently, according to this guy.
Now, see, that's interesting. If that's a true fact, that's interesting.
I did not know that.
I didn't either, but I'm going 5-4 left.
Yes, at least.
So far.
To establish extensive and frequent dialogue between Gentile leaders of all races, free from Jewish sabotage and influence. I would say that does not qualify as either right or left.
No.
To bring about full congressional investigation into the powerful, this is interesting, into the powerful Trotsky communist, and you're thinking, oh God, this guy's like, he's worried about communists, neocon movement. He's saying that he doesn't like the neocon movement. He's calling it Trotskyist. He's calling it Trotskyist. But he's upset with the neocon movement, clearly a Paul Wolfowitz, evil George Bush, Dick Cheney thing, which he doesn't like, and he's complaining about Homeland Security. He's complaining about the death penalty, or he's saying the death penalty is punishment for the people who are upset with the whole situation here with the neocons. It's obvious. Okay, but again, if you're complaining about the neocons, that's a liberal position, correct?
Yeah, yes.
To initiate laws that will mandate an American company executives relocate their companies to a foreign... To initiate laws that will mandate that American company executives who have relocated their companies to foreign countries to take advantage of cheap labor at the expense of American workers will either return those companies to the continental United States or else lose their American citizenships. Again, you're talking about essentially outsourcing. They're complaining about outsourcing. That is another left-wing position. Mm-hmm. Protect the American worker, a very pro-union type of view. Mm-hmm. Then you've got to initiate laws that will mandate that American company executives with outsourced jobs will be given 90 days to cease un-American practices. Again, that's another left-wing position complaining about outsourcing. To segregate American jails and prisons. I don't think anyone is advocating that at this point. And then he goes on to talk about how millions of young white men have been raped by black inmates. But outside of that, I don't. Again, do not think.
Wow, this guy is just insane. Everything he believes and does and thinks is colored by race and religion.
Right.
You notice that? I mean, everything.
Everything. It's all
every policy.
It's blamed everything on Jews or blacks. And this is amazing that this can exist in our society.
It is.
But you can listen to this guy's positions. He is not a right-wing activist.
No, he's not. It's more left than right.
More left than right, unless you just apply racism to the right, which is, of course, what the media does.
Now, what is it he's running for? Is it a city position?
No, it's Senate. It's the U.S. Senate, I believe.
And of course, he has no shot.
Well, I don't. With ads like this, I think we possibly might, because these are fantastic.
White men have become the biggest cowards ever to walk the earth, and the whole world knows it. But our forefathers were different. They were brave men who conquered and ruled the world. No other race of men could stand against them. So what's the difference between us and our forefathers? We're the same race. We put on our britches just like they did. We look like them. Our brains are the same size. Physically, there is no difference. But yet our forefathers were strong and brave, and we are weak and cowardly. The question is, why? The answer is David Duke.
More David Duke. He's a big proponent of David Duke.
So, yeah, to name his website that, or is David Duke involved in it?
Can I go to this website without
being flagged?
Because this is one of those things. I will go to this website, and then at some point I will be arrested.
Yeah,
and then we found racist material on his computer.
I wouldn't even bother. Wow, that's
pretty
really
interesting
something.
stuff, though.
Yeah, it is.
By the way,
sad.
This broadcast today brought to you by Glenn Miller for Senate.
Hey, Gringo, still got your job, or did your boss hire Julio for half the price? Illegal aliens are stealing your job, your women, and your children's future. And Obama, your mama, is going to legalize 30 million more. Wise up and man up. Go to GOV.
There's another one, too, where he talks about... he uses other... We have not... there's so many of them, we have not hit the ones... There's a couple that have actually been aired and are being complained about, in which, they specifically talking about how black people are... And he just certainly does not use that terminology, but are stealing our women, are, doing all sorts, and it's just like it's unbelievable that this stuff could air. But again, you get into that thing of political speech, and it's like with the Supreme Court thing that we talked about. You've got horrible videos being sold with dogs being murdered and tortured and everything else. And the way it's defined now, they think they might be able to bring it back with a more focused sort of ruling, but it was too broad, this last one. But in the article, it talked about that there has only been one limit on free speech in history by the Supreme Court, and it was in 1982 with child porn. That is literally the only thing according to this article, that had ever been limited. Yeah, that's a really good limit. Good limit. Because remember, we're not talking about actually doing the porn. Right. This is the problem. Like, it's not legal to have dogs be tortured, but can you distribute videos of dogs being tortured if you didn't do the actual torturing? And they talked about how one of the issues would be there's a lot of hunting videos out there, fishing videos, whatever you want to, there's all these things that you could say is animal torture, and they could go try to ban all of it. And that's why I guess why they thought it was too broad. But you do have to sit back, and as bad as things get in America, and appreciate the fact that, the free speech thing is still around and honored and respected, at least at this point.
So far,
so good with that. And, the fact that an idiot like this can get on the actual radio and do it is horrible, but in a way, it's good. Isn't it? It's in a really weird way. The fact that a guy can still go out and even though his opinion is completely absurd and ridiculous, it's in a way good. Free speech has to exist, particularly political speech. We've talked about this with 9/11 truthers. There's nothing I can't stand more than 9/11 truthers. I can't stand them. They're so annoying to me. But they should be able to say what they want to say.
Yeah, and the thing is, his racism, his prejudice is out there in the open, whereas it's cloaked with so many others.
Yeah.
And so at least you know where he stands.
You know where he stands, Pat.
Stupid. Hey, Brian. You're on the
y'all, how y'all doing up there?
How you doing, gringo?
A bunch of cowards.
In New York City, working for that pudding master.
That's right.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
I'm in trouble now, right? I just wanted to call you guys and clear up a little something that Glenn was saying earlier, and it's just not quite accurate. I was actually at the Second Amendment rally on Monday.
You hate monger.
Didn't see you guys.
No, we weren't.
I know. There was also a hate monger named Ken Blanchard. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He has a blog called Black Man with a Gun. So I guess he was hating himself. One of the heads of Pink Pistol was there, Nikki Stallard, a transvestite with a gun. It was just,
What was it we got wrong? We got about 30 seconds left.
We weren't armed. There
was nobody armed, because I saw pictures of people carrying rifles.
This is what's so frustrating. There was another demonstration in Virginia on the other side of the Potomac.
Okay.
That's the one. It was 30 guys with rifles and a pickup truck. We had 2,000 people at ours, but we didn't get the coverage.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
That's what you expect, I guess.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow, stupid.
This is the fourth hour, part of the Insider Extreme at GlennBeck.com.